got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. First of all, mystery drone madness. This is from Cowboy State Daily. Mystery drones the size of SUVs continue to fly over the Jim Bridger power plant and other locations in Sweetwater County with no hint so far about what their purpose may be, according to Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office. Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Rich Fisher told lawmakers on the House Minerals Business and Economic Development Committee that the most recent such flight was February 10th during discussion Monday of Senate File 132. The bill, which has already passed the Senate, seeks to give law enforcement officials in the Wyoming National Guard the power to do more than just observe suspicious drones flying overhead. They would be authorized to take steps against drones of a suspicious nature that fly over areas the state designated as critical infrastructure. Yeah, and they're as large as a car, Fisher said. Not at all as large as an SUV. Not at all like what an ordinary user might purchase from Walmart or Amazon. We don't know what they are or who is piloting them, Fisher said. They did have lights and were varying in altitude with rapid descent, rapid increase in altitude. He said attempts to find an operator by scouting the area were unsuccessful. We've looked at off-ramps along interstates because they're generally operating north of the interstate. Certain times they've been witnessed over both Green River and Rock Springs, but our deputies, law enforcement, we haven't been able to find anybody specifically out by the power plant. Yeah, so we got more crazy drone action over installations. What is going on there? Ross Coulthart commented saying, somebody forgot to tell Wyoming that those mystery drones are supposedly FAA authorized. Mystery drones the size of SUVs continue to fly over local power plant. Of course, Mick West had to chime in. No, there are 0 mystery drones the size of SUVs flying over power plants. You are repeating baseless nonsense. Be a journalist. Okay, Mick. Ross says, chill out, Mick. I am being a journalist. I'm doing what media do. I'm reporting a statement made by the county sheriff's office. Yeah, so, Mick doing his usual disinformation thing. Meanwhile, the locals and even the sheriff's department are seeing these things and reporting on them and even making laws against these things. So, what will result out of that? Who knows if the laws will actually do anything. If this is NHI, I don't think they're going to be too worried about our laws, but hey, you never know. You never know. I have heard there are no cattle mutilations in countries that revere cows. So, maybe there's some respect that they show for, some human stuff. Meanwhile, there's also drone incursions over Plant 42, as reported by George Knapp. Area Plant 52 is an interesting place, and that whole area is a hot spot of secret, probably UFO stuff by different people. But let's listen to what George has to say.
Yeah, these mystery drones sure do get around, don't they? Months before they filled the skies of New Jersey and U.S. air bases in the UK, swarms of unidentified whatchamacallits returned night after night and hovered directly over Plant 42 in Palmdale, California, an aerospace brain trust with distinct ties to Nevada's own Area 51. The most visible connection between top-secret sites of the Southwest are the unmarked planes of Janet, the hush-hush airline that flies workers from Las Vegas up to Area 51 or to Area 52 near Tonopah. It also ferries back and forth to Palmdale and the sprawling complex known as Plant 42, a Mojave Desert enclave of brilliant engineers and aerospace brainiacs working on projects for NASA, the Air Force, and CIA. The cutting-edge technologies are vital to national security. All the big names are here. Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, Northrop Grumman, McDonnell Douglas. It's the birthplace of all sorts of amazing...
Anyway, so yeah, it's a hot spot of, high-tech stuff, likely UFO tech stuff, and they've got mystery drones. No big surprise. They're everywhere. They're over power plants. They're over dog parks. Of course, they're going to be over, this place, Plant 42. But are they targeting that area specifically because of the UFO stuff? I mean, do they seek that place out for that reason? Or is it if they just hit enough places, of course they're going to hit a place like that? So I don't know, but it's an interesting story. I would love to know what these things are doing, guys. What are these mystery drones up to? When is this flap going to go away? Is this just the new normal? And we're going to see these things, in 20 years, and it's, oh, sure, there's mystery drones out there. Everybody will know there's crazy drones from some unknown actor just in the skies, and that's just going to be part of popular culture. Or is this thing just going to fade out at some point? Now, are we ever going to get any answers? If this is a message directed to somebody by the phenomenon, now, who is that message to? Is it to the powers that be to disclose, or else? Is it more of a message to the general populace, letting them know that, hey, we're not alone? What do you guys think? What is this thing all about? And when will it end? Will it ever end? Meanwhile, Ross Coulthart is interviewing this guy. I'm going to butcher his name, but he is a researcher who has been investigating this Baltic Sea anomaly. Let me see if I can get a visual on this anomaly. Yeah, here we go. People call it the Millennium Falcon. This really, really interesting feature under the sea. And we don't know what this thing is. The researcher is convinced that it's a man-made structure of some sort. I listened to the full interview, and then I had ChatGPT break it down for me so I didn't forget anything. They did a pretty good job, but they did leave some stuff out. Yeah, it's a roughly circular shape, structured lines and angles, which is part of what makes the researcher, whose name is led by Asberg and Peter Lindbergh. I think that we're dealing with Asberg is the gentleman's name in the video, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, and I'll also correct my pronunciation. But yeah, he was saying there's structured lines and angles. The sonar images suggest straight lines and right angles, giving the impression of stair-like formations leading to a central dome or hole. It has a trail-like feature. A 300-meter runway or skid mark appears to lead to the object, as if it had slid across the seabed before coming to rest. And that kind of makes me think more of a UFO thing, if this is actually a structured object. But the last time this object or that part of the land was above the sea, where there wasn't a glacier on it, was like 15,000 years ago. So it'd be really interesting if ancient peoples were building something, and when the sea came in, maybe it got all jumbled and moved around and slid a ways, I guess could be an explanation. Or it could be like a UFO kind of thing. Unclear. We don't know what this thing is. Now, there were equipment malfunctions that led to the researchers thinking maybe there's some sort of electromagnetic interference, which, of course, suggests a more exotic explanation than some ancient structure built by, ancient humans. One thing that ChatGPT forgot to mention was that there were boats from other countries that were observing them while they were conducting this research. And they didn't give any explanation why they were there. Multiple other countries, multiple boats were observing this research being conducted. Were they waiting for them to bring it up? Were they there to learn what they were learning? Were they spying on them? Were they there to prevent them from learning anything they weren't supposed to know? So we don't know what this object is, but it's super fascinating. He's trying to go back out there and do further research on this object to find out what this is. I hope he gets the funding. I hope he goes back out there because this thing is super fascinating. This Millennium Falcon-like thing. I don't know what it is, but let me know what you think it is in the comments below. Let's see. We've also got Woody Harrelson sharing his own UFO story with Stephen Colbert. Yeah, he saw a UFO when he was a young man or a kid, and multiple other people saw this object. In fact, there was multiple objects. I'm not going to play the clip because I'll get a copyright claim. But yeah, he is a UFO observer or a witness to what looks like a group of UFOs doing maneuvers in the sky before a group of people. Really cool stuff. I think more and more people are going to start opening up and talking about this stuff. I think we are entering the age of disclosure, guys. It's not just the name of a movie. We are entering the age of disclosure. People are going to start talking about it. I love it. Meanwhile, from Matt Laszlo at Askapol, Secret Task Force wants David Grush, Lou Elizondo, and Arrow in Skiff at the same time. Yeah, I don't know about Arrow. I could live without Arrow being there. Although it'd be kind of fun to see the back and forth between Arrow and those guys. Um, yeah, Matt Laszlo asks, is there a UAP update? And Anna Polina Luna says, Eric Burleson had a really good idea to get UFO whistleblower David Grush into the skiff, doing a read-in for his security clearance, trying to get him his security clearance back. There's been some back and forth about whether he has the security clearance or not. Some, credible people say he does. Some say he doesn't. But she's saying they're trying to get him read in for his security clearance. Seems to indicate he doesn't. But she goes on, and then having him, that is David Grush, Lou Elizondo, and Arrow there to flush out some stuff. Well, I think they should flush out Arrow. Sorry, still working on my cedar fever. But yeah, that's what they need to flush out. Caught our ear. So we're going to try to do a temporary read-in, talking about his security clearances. I guess there's certain things that you can share in a skiff with a temporary read-in. So not getting him his permanent clearance back, but only a temporary clearance, or only giving them clearance to hear it. Unclear exactly what that's all about, but they are trying to, or at least thinking about getting Lou and David in a skiff with Kozlowski, I suppose. So, I don't know what could come of that. We know that David has already provided classified information to Congress. I'm not sure why they can't act on that, and what they would hope to get out of a future skiff. Could they act on that if he was there in person and they just weren't reviewing his material? Unclear what their ultimate goal here is, since they already have information. But there you go. That is what they are working toward. Meanwhile, we got a really cool UFO video over Mexico shared by Wixie. Check this out. All right, let me get the music out of there. All right, but yeah, check this out. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful orb. Yeah, there's no way that's a bug or a bird or a balloon or a drone. That's either CGI or that's a freaking UFO. And I'm leaning toward a freaking UFO. I think that is a gorgeous, gorgeous capture of an orb. But, let me know what you guys think. Can this be explained by mundane reasons? This is a Chinese lantern or something like that? I don't think so. But let me know your thoughts. I think that's an awesome sighting of an orb. I wish those words weren't in the way. But yeah, look at that. That is just gorgeous. Yeah, love it. Meanwhile, from the Black Vault, FOIA released emails mention alleged triangular UAP photo. Former UAP task force director speaks out. Newly released documents obtained by the Black Vault through FOIA reveal email exchanges with the DoD discussing a photograph reportedly showing a triangular UAP emerging from the ocean. The FOIA request was originally filed in December 2020. Along with these documents, Jay Stratton, former director of the UAP task force, has now spoken exclusively to the Black Vault about this claim. Yeah, here's the letter, and this is from an anonymous person or a redacted person to Susan Go. Her name is also redacted, but that's who it was to. Jay Stratton, tells me the photo is part of an active investigation, so it probably would be withheld from release for that reason. Jay clarifies, he says, at the time of this email exchange, the story in the debrief the claim that an FA-18 pilot had provided a photograph of a triangle emerging from the ocean, I was handling multiple cases. When asked about it, especially on an unclassified system, I was aware of what the debrief was reporting while also managing other investigations, some of which could have been conflated with this claim. We had photographed from pilots instances of UAP that appeared triangular or pyramidal and other unrelated cases. Given the circumstances, I was limited in what I could discuss at that time. He added, to prevent years of speculation and misinterpretation of emails taken out of context, I want to clarify explicitly no such photo was ever provided to us by an FA-18 pilot showing a triangle emerging from the water. This statement is simply meant to ensure accuracy on this specific detail, not to challenge or critique the debrief's reporting. However, Tim McMillan fires back. He says, in 2020, the idea that the U.S. government was formally investigating UAP was still shocking. The information reported, including the description of some images, came from multiple sources with direct access to early UAP task force intelligence documents. I remain confident in the accuracy of the information shared. So Tim says, yeah, no, this triangle image is legit. We still have not seen the triangle image, only the description of this triangular object emerging from the ocean. And Jay is saying this never happened, but Tim McMillan is saying it did. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio is talking about the Havana syndrome.
But I have no doubt in my mind that something caused people to be suffering from these things in different posts around the world, not just limited to Havana. There's a lot of work still going on. I think we're going to learn a lot more about it over the next few years as more work goes into it. But I've met some of these people. I've interacted with them for years. And I can't explain every case, but I think there are most definitely cases where there is no logical explanation other than the fact that some external mechanism caused them to suffer brain injuries that in many cases look like they were hit over the head with a baseball bat.
Yeah, so there you go. Marco Rubio saying the Havana syndrome is real and that they will investigate this and hopefully find some answers. What do you guys think? Do you think that the government knows what this is? Do they know who is doing this? Is it them? Is it Russia? Is it China? Who is doing this and why? It's such a strange phenomenon and a scary phenomenon. And I don't think it's just limited to people in embassies. It seems like this technology may have been used, on regular people who have been suffering these effects. So unclear if we're ever going to get any answers on this, but we sure need to. But let me know what you guys think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Smash the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Grab a t-shirt. Become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, much like this guy. Man, this looks so good. This looks better than any of the Ghost Rider movies. I mean, all that CGI and stuff couldn't get as good as this guy got it. I love it. I love it. He's a rock star. All right, be a rock star, become a channel member, and I'll see you guys next time. There's plenty of other videos on the channel. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.